Ah, the feel, man. Come on.
Primal Chaos.
Hey guys, Primal Chaos here. Welcome to the channel. And I'm back with another Ren, or I should say more specifically, the Big Push reaction. So I've done a lot of Ren's material, and to be honest with you, it's been kind of leapfrogging through his catalog to all of the ones that are sort of big reactable songs. I've done a bunch of his super emotional stuff. I've done a little bit of his traditional, typical sort of mainstream hip hop stuff now. And it's occurred to me that the big chasm in the catalog of songs that I haven't touched yet is Ren's like busking videos, the origin story of Ren, as it were, right? So I'm super excited to get into this one because it's one of those ones that in my comment sections, it's always getting blown up with, you need to do the Big Push. You need to do the I Shot the Sheriff video. I mean, if that tells me anything, it's that there's something here. There's something I really need to see. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm super psyched to hear Ren in the raw doing the thing that made him the artist that he is today. And that's being out on the streets, performing to people, being that proselytizer, that sort of minstrel character that he just is, right? He's just a consummate artist communicator, right? He communicates through his music and he just wants to connect with people. At least that's the vibe I'm getting. So I'm super excited. I can't believe I waited this long, but here we are. Before I dive in, this is the part where I normally throw in an ad for Enchroma. If you're colorblind and you're looking for a way to see the world a little bit better, click the link in my description. It'll take you to Enchroma's website where you can get some glasses that'll help you see better. But I don't want to take too long talking about that. Let's just jump straight in. The Big Push, I Shot the Sheriff, Road to Zion, and / hip hop. I guess it's a medley. Let's see how we go. Oh. It's quite a crowd. Ah, the feel, man. Come on. I gotta stop already, man. There's two types of guitar players in the world. There's people who play the guitar, and then there's people who the guitar plays them. And I feel like if you're thinking about what you're doing and you're thinking about what your fingers are doing and you're thinking about scales and modes, you're the kind of player where the guitar is playing you. Where Ren just exhibited some of the most beautiful playing from the soul. It's like, it's already blowing my mind. And I know a lot of people are going to look at this and go, what is he talking about? That seems so simple. As a guitar player, you get it, right? You understand. It's like, you can see it in the mannerisms. You can see it in his face. His soul is playing that guitar. His body and his mind aren't doing it. It's coming from deep within, and he's not thinking about what his fingers are doing or what frets his fingers are on. He's just emoting through like, I feel like he's playing, listening to the sound rather than he's playing, projecting a sound through the instrument, if that makes sense. Yeah. Can I go back? Just indulge me this, please. Oh, beautiful tone too, man. I mean, he's on the streets, for God's sakes. Flawless pitch. That's a nice touch with the hands.
You sit all around in my hometown. Track me down for a crime that I did not commit. Yes, if for a murder of a deputy,
his
But I
vibrato
saw-
is so cool and unique. Ah,
Peter shot the sheriff. I did not shoot no deputy.
man, he's so in his own pocket, you know.
I shot the sheriff. I swear it was in self-defense. I said, Sheriff John Brown, that man hated me.
Never heard him get that low before. That's cool.
For what? I just don't know. Whenever I would try to plant a seed, he would say, kill it before it grows. He would say, kill it before it grows. But I said, I did not shoot no deputy. I shot the sheriff, but I swear it was in self-defense. Oh, give it up for Remain next season, please, please, please. World of calamity, dirty looks and grudges and jealousy. Media clowns them and abusing their but media clowns that not for nothing but boom. The young trends to come up, more at the damn slow. When I bust the trigger finger like bamba, make a dough. When I bust the trigger finger, come on, here we go. Burst on in the here we go, 'cause got to keep it moving on the road to Zion. Got to keep it burning on the road to Zion. Got to keep it burning on the road.
That's, oh my God. Bring it home.
With a little bit of dog, we can make it through the night. With a little bit of dog, we can make it through the night. With a little bit of dog, we can make it through the night. With a tanani, boy. With a little bit of love, we can make it through the night. With a little bit of love, we can make it through the night. With a little bit of love, we can make it through the night. With a tanani, boy, come on now.
Come on.
Even more, let's take it. Let's take it down. Keep it going. Tempo slow. Here, ha, here, ha, here, ha. Here is still bigger than a hip. Ha, here, ha, here, ha. Here is still bigger than a hip. Ha, here, ha.
Oh, wow.
Hip, ha, hip, still bigger than a hip. Ha, hip, ha, hip. My drum bass. One thing about music, when it hits you feel no pain. White folks they control your brain. I'm no better than that, that's game. I'm me ready for that. Two soldiers ahead of a pack, my factory's got the guy. Where my army at? What the right time? Not react, back the beats. It don't reflect on how many records get sold. On the drugs and rock and roll. Whether your projects or on hold. In the real world, we just people with ideas. We just like you and me when the smoke and camera disappear again. The real world. It's bigger than all these fake ass records. When my profile's got the millions and my woman's disrespected. If you check one, two, man, would have advised to you, just relax. If that don't work, then do what you got to do and kick the facts. If you a liar, wolf crier, bush crier, agent with the wire, I'ma know it when I play it. But then if you a liar, mouth on crier, pants on fire, agent with the wire, I'ma know it when I play it. It's bigger than a hip hop, hip hop, hip hop. It's still bigger than a hip hop.
Oh man.
It's still bigger than it's still bigger than
Tying it back. Oh my God. I'm living in the wrong part of the world, man. When I walk down the street, I see shows like this happening just on the side of the road. Oh my God. Can you imagine if you were just wandering the streets in wherever they are? I don't know, Blackpool or I don't know where they're from. I mean, I don't know England that well, but you're just walking down the street and you just see a crowd of people and you're like, what are these dudes doing? And you just stumble across that and you don't know the caliber of what you're witnessing at that point in time. You're blissfully ignorant to who you're looking at and what they're doing. You just know that it's good, you know, and you think, oh man, it's just such a shame that these guys are so talented. They probably never get anywhere. Oh man. Oh, but look, I could talk all day about, this is what a band is, right? A lot of people, I mean, this is one of the things when I make music myself, is I suffer from intense imposter syndrome because I know the caliber of musician I am, and I'm okay. I can play guitar reasonably well and I can compose reasonably good. But there's a different level that some people get to, and I think it's one of those things that might be innate. You know, they say talent is one of those things that you can teach. I mean, it's divided. Some people think people are born with talent. Maybe. Some people think that it's something you get from intense practice and focus, and that's definitely true too. But there's certain people who it just comes easier for, and I don't know if it's because they're so driven and so focused on the goal that they just advance quicker than everyone else, or some people I think just have a drive or a vision of what music is that's different. And somehow these guys all found themselves and they're in the big push. Because to me, there's a level that people get to where the song doesn't become the song you're playing anymore. The song is this thing that's this amorphous kind of nebulous form that just changes and evolves depending on your mood, right? And when you go see amazing jazz musicians and things like that, that's the key, right? You never see the same show twice. It's just whatever the dude's feeling. That's why I think, and I'm not a huge Zappa fan. I don't know too much of the catalog, but from what I understand, that's what you got. You got a different show every night, depending on what mood Frank was in that night. And he would conduct the band like it was an orchestra, and he'd change up things and do things in real time. And you better be able to keep up. You better be the kind of musician that can turn on a dime, right? And still be so cognizant of what you're doing that you don't even have to think about the math anymore. It's like breathing. Same with if you're ever in Prince's band. Prince will go and do 2 shows a night in 2 different venues. You know, he'll go play some big show, well, formerly Prince would do. He'd go play a big stadium show, and then at 3 a.m. he'd turn up at some bar in a dive and play to 100 people. And it would be 2 completely different shows. Same songs, different shows, you know. But I envy these kinds of musicians so much where they can really just emote through their instruments in a way that isn't connected to the mathematics of music. It's lyrical. It's kind of I don't want to use the word artistic because you can still be mathematical and artistic. There's an inherent analog humanity to what they're doing. And it's just fundamental to who they are. You know that these guys don't do anything but music. And if they're doing something else, then they're thinking about music. You know, it's just a flavor and a vibe that flows through them that's just tangible, right? You can feel it. What I wanted to talk about a little bit too was just Ren's voice. He has that very specific, there's like a timbre there that's kind of raspy and husky. And he has like this interesting vibrato that's way back at the end of the note, right back in the back of his palate. I can't do it, but it's kind of got this flutter to it, which it evokes like analog tape flutter. You know, it's really interesting, and I really dig that. But you know, I hadn't heard the low register before. That was interesting. Gets right up on the mic with the proximity effect. It gets low, and that was really cool. But you know, man, he's just built different. You know, and again, I think it's that same thing with he's hearing the voice coming out of himself. He's not singing to make a sound. He's singing to hear the sound, and it's this feedback loop which gives you that so much kind of you get to play with the sound, right? That's how come he's such a great improviser. Is you can sort of feel him kind of molding the note as he's singing it, and from the feedback he's hearing the performance, and he's playing with it and playing with the timbre, playing with the rhythm, sitting in the pocket a little bit different. You know, there's just things that if you're just performing the song, like brute forcing your way through it by playing the notes or singing the notes, it's different to sort of getting in that flow state of that cyclical sort of the sounds getting produced and coming out of you, and you're hearing it come back in through your ears, and you're like, oh, I'm going to play with that a little bit. You know, it's almost like you're listening to somebody else perform and you're kind of manipulating it. It's really hard to explain, but it's one of those things that takes you from that point of playing an instrument to emoting through your art or whatever. Oh man. Also the other thing was the cadence. I think, I mean, he did the rapping sort of stuff at the end, which we all know he's incredibly adept at. He's got a very old school flavor, old school hip hop sort of feel and influence. But again, he still makes it his own. He's got an unusual rap timbre as well. The sound of his voice is unusual, but it just works. Everything about it works. He's like physical attitude, the way that he presents himself, and the sound of his voice, just to this cool amalgamation of like authenticity and honesty. And he's not trying to put on an accent. He's not trying to sound like anyone specifically. As much as this is incredibly heavily influenced by reggae and say Bob Marley, and he's not trying to sound like Bob Marley, he's doing a loving homage to that genre of music through the prism of his own art, which is, again, it's just one of those things that it's a thing a lot of people make the mistake of. They try to recreate their influences rather than honor them and be themselves. And that's really cool. But yeah, the cadence I was sort of getting at was when he starts playing around. I'm not sure exactly where.
In this world of calamity, dirty looks and grudges and jealousy, media clowns them and abuse and they put up but media clowns that not for nothing but boom. The young trends.
That entire thing was just him just flow stating that whole bit. You know, I'm sure every time he does this song with the guys, there's some sort of variant of that, but you know, he's just feeling where that's taken him. He's getting right up there in his mix or his head voice, and he's just feeling it. It's not like rehearsed. It doesn't feel contrived. It feels like these guys are going to hear something new today, and I'm going to just give it to them, you know? It's so good. Now, one thing that was jumping out at me as I was listening to this performance is there's a great performance. If you're familiar with an Australian artist called Matt Corby, he originally came to prominence on, I think it was Australia's Got Talent or Australian Idol or something like that. And when he was just in high school, and back then he had an incredible rock voice, like established already, just a brilliant voice. Every time he performed, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing from like a 15 or 16-year-old. And he's since moved on and become kind of like a more soul-based sort of folky kind of thing. And again, brilliant, like think Jeff Buckley, right? But like a more modern version of Jeff Buckley in a lot of ways. And he's definitely influenced by Jeff as well. But his big song was a song called Brother, which, look that up, Matt Corby, Brother. It's a beautiful song. But the thing I'm thinking of was a performance a song called Trick of the Light, which I believe is a cover. And he did it at some live festival. And it's one of those things where you can just feel on the night there's a heat to it. There's a magic there that you just don't get. I'm going to see if I can find it. Hang on, give me a sec. All right, this is it. Indulge me, because trust me when I say this is worth it. You should check this video out. It's called Trick of the Light, Matt Corby, live on the Resolution Tour. And I hope you appreciate this, because now I'm going to get 2 copyright infringements on this video. But again, you'll hear the same sort of vibe, right? He's going to start out with some improvised guitar. And vocals that are, again, just improvised on the spot sort of melodies and cadences.
Somewhere out of the ashes, I'm falling to you, and I know. Oh, deep down in the end,
it's just a great example of a band that has such incredible synergy in this one moment in time, where everything just fires on all cylinders, and you can feel there's something special about it.
The ocean seeking water for only you. Drowned and then swam to the shore for only you. But then I found it was a trick of the light.
Flute solo.
Something that was catching my eye.
You see what I mean? The band is really tight in the pocket. It just sounds like magic coming out of the speakers, you know? There's some stank bass from the bass player. Love it. Let's jump ahead. Hang on, there's a... Oh, why not just do a beatbox solo, right? He's got a whole ass drummer. Why is he? Listen, you get the idea. Go watch that video. If you're a fan of Ren, you're gonna love Matt Corby. Similar in his originality and his dynamicism, his dynamics and everything. Absolutely brilliant performer, but you know, that's not why we're here. Let's look back at the big push. Look, I don't know if I got much more to say other than the fact that I really appreciate everybody who commented asking me to do this video. I want a special shout out to Elle, who's been emailing me and warning me of which versions of Ren songs to do without incurring the rabid Ren fan base's wrath for daring to choose the wrong version to react to. And this was her recommendation, but also many, many people in the comments have asked me to check this one out as well. And you know what? That brings me to another point. You guys are instrumental in making this channel work. And I know that based on the comments, a lot of you people appreciate the style of reaction that I do. And if I could just ask for one thing in return, it's just hit like and subscribe, hit the bell, because I really want to boost my numbers, not because of anything to do with vanity or anything like that. It doesn't help me financially. It doesn't do anything like that, but I really want to pivot this channel in a direction where I can do more good, where I can do things like interviews, talk to artists like Ren or, you know, maybe Matt Corby or people like that. But unless you got the swagger to sort of get people's attention, it just makes it infinitely more difficult. And I'd love to be able to broach the kind of topics that I talk about in these reactions with these artists and find out what really makes them tick under the surface. None of the, you know, anecdotal questions that just get asked in regular interviews. I want to talk about deep cuts, you know, what makes people tick, what's their influences, why they make the specific musical choices that they do. Like, where does the soul of their music come from one musician to another? I just want to know these things. So, you know, it's a little bit selfishly for myself, but also I feel like it would make interesting content. So if you can help me out with that, let's try and get me up to 50K. I'm sitting at about 25K right now. I think it can be done with you guys' help. So I appreciate that. Anyway, that's about all I got time for. Thanks again. If you want to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee as well. Just hit the link in the description. Check out my Discord channel. Love all you guys. Thank you so much for this recommendation. Stay primal, and I'll catch you on the next one.